Hi, I'm Bill. I am the salty old Marine. You look fine to me. Ever heard that? I have. I'll bet you have too. We talk about disability on this channel, specifically VA disability. But disability comes in a lot of different forms. The disability that most people think of is the kind of disability that is physical and sometimes obvious. A disabled person is a person who walks with a white cane. A disabled person is a person in a wheelchair. A disabled person is someone who walks on crutches. Those are disabilities, right? Well, yeah, those are disabilities. And most of us, most human beings, have some level of empathy for the disabled, the physically disabled, those that they can see are disabled. Most people would hold a door. Most people would not deny someone a handicapped parking spot. Most people would show some empathy and some respect for those who are physically and obviously injured. However, they often withhold that respect if they don't personally see the disability. But disabilities come in a lot of different forms. A disability can be a disability of the physical body. It can be a disability of the mind or of the spirit, or all of those things, or some of those things. And the fact of the matter is, you don't know. I don't know what a person is carrying with them, how it affects their day-to-day life. I didn't even know about myself. Let me try to explain. I suffer from PTSD. I know that now, and I'm being treated by the VA for it, and I continue to seek treatment because I want to get better. I didn't know I had PTSD for decades. In fact, I kind of didn't think PTSD was a real thing, or if it was for veterans who had served in combat and had seen horrible things and, war, that sort of thing, right? That was what caused PTSD, and I didn't have it, or so I thought. It wasn't until I started getting therapy that I began to examine my life in a critical way. And I realized how many of the things that I did and do to this day were caused by my traumatic experiences in the military. That PTSD that I suffered changed me. Now, I own my disability. I am responsible for the way I behaved. I don't seek absolution. I don't claim that I'm not responsible. I am responsible. Everything I've done wrong in my life, even if it was because of my PTSD, it's all on me. I accept that. But looking back and realizing how much of my life, the arc of my life, was negatively affected and in major ways by my PTSD is troubling. Jobs that I've lost, been fired, threatened bosses with violence. Yeah, did it. Lost my job, lost my house, went through bankruptcy, lost my first marriage. Haven't talked to my family in 30 years. Live in my house. I go to work. I volunteer some at my dojo, teaching karate to kids. And I garden. And that's about it. I've withdrawn. All of those are effects of PTSD, and that is a disability. But if you met me, you might find me very personable. You might find that I was a nice guy, Or maybe you'd catch me in a bad mood and I'd be irritable and explosive and mean, and you'd think I was a real jerk. And sometimes I am a jerk. But you wouldn't think I was disabled. Well, I'm disabled. I've got other disabilities, which you can't see. I have diabetes. Now, that's not service connected. I have diabetes. And as a result of my diabetes, I have diabetic neuropathy. I've got shooting pain in my feet. As I get older, it gets worse, and so sometimes now I have to walk with a cane. I'm starting to get this situation where my feet droop as I walk, and I can drag them, and it can cause me to almost trip. So, physical disability. But it's not always there, and it's not always obvious. And although my doctor gave me a hang tag to use a disabled parking space, I don't always use it. But if my neuropathy is flaring up, I'll use it. And gosh, if I get out of my truck and I walk into a store or into work and I'm not limping, I'm not using my cane, there are people who are looking at me thinking, he looks fine to me. Just somebody else trying to get over on the system. But they don't know. Nobody knows. So that's what I'd kind of like to leave you with. Many of us have disabilities. On this channel, quite a few of us, because we seek VA disability. So we have disabilities. We are, by definition, disabled to a greater or a lesser extent. It affects us in different ways. It can be external, it can be internal, it can be physical, mental, spiritual. But we've all got these issues. And not everybody can see those. They can be invisible. So I would urge everyone, whether you're a veteran or not, try and have some empathy. Try and have some understanding that just because you don't see it does not mean it is not there. Just because you don't know what battle is going on inside of them doesn't mean there is no battle going on inside of them. Just because they seem okay to you, they may not be okay. We're all doing the best we can. We're all trying to get better. We're all helping each other. All we need is a little space. All we need is a little empathy. We're not asking for handouts. We're not asking for things we don't deserve. We're not asking for things we haven't earned or paid the price for and continue to pay the price for. All we're asking for is a little space and a little respect. This is Bill. I am the Salty Old Marine. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment. And as always, have a great day.